On this edition of the show, we talk about a fight that has an air of controversy. Mga kaibigan, si Oscar Valdez recently successfully held on to his WBC super featherweight title with a 12-round unanimous decision over Robson Consecao in the Battle of the Olympians in Tucson, Arizona. Now, Valdez, mga kaibigan, had been cleared to fight despite failing a drug test. Now, on September 6, WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman issued a statement allowing the fight to proceed. Now, let me ask you, Ryan Songalia, what were the what were the stories behind this? Considering that in the time of the pandemic and everybody is trying to be as careful as they can, how did the WBC arrive at a conclusion to let this fight go on?
Hypocrisy. So with the WBC, it seems that the rules change and they're applied however they see fit. What's the point of having a partnership with VADA, which is really consider the gold standard of pre-fight drug testing, if you're not going to abide by their findings? An adverse finding plus a follow-up test that confirms the initial findings should be grounds to cancel a fight. Now, and I understand, we've had enough canceled fights now because of the pandemic, but rules are rules. And the WBC, it comes to no surprise to anyone, is not applying the rules evenly. Now, a couple years ago, when David Benavidez had tested positive for a banned substance, the recreational drug cocaine, in an out of competition test, he was stripped of his championship, and he's still to this day dealing with the consequences of that, because he would have the belt probably right now, and he would be able to fight Canelo Alvarez, who is Oscar Valdez's training mate, and he would make a lot of money, but instead he's not. So if the rules are going to be applied to one person, the standard should be applied across the board.
Okay, well, that being the case, Valdez was able to retain its championship. And let's talk about that fight very, very briefly. Valdez actually had more welts on his face comparatively to Consecao. But in the latter rounds, Consecao started being a bit more cocky and started showboating in the latter rounds. Did that make a dent on the judges' decision, considering that one judge gave it 117 to 110?
I thought that scorecard was a little bit ridiculous. Now, Conceição has always sort of, the knock on him as a professional has been that he's a front runner. He's someone who could do very well early on in fights and then tends to fade he was an Olympic star. He was a gold medalist in 2016 representing Brazil at the Olympics, but he has not his stamina has not adjusted to the professionals the way that it would have to in order for him to translate his success to the professionals. But Valdez knows how to win those fights. He's a seasoned champion. Even if he doesn't look good in some fights, he knows how to do the little extra at the end of fights in order to pull out the victory. And that's what happened.
So looking forward to these two fighters, what will be in the cards, so to speak, for these two fighters moving forward?
Conceição, it's going to be tough for him if he doesn't adjust his if he cannot improve his stamina to fight at a 12-round pace. He looked great in the first 5 or 6 rounds, not so great in the end. For Valdez, because we're Filipinos, so we're here to talk about boxing, but also with a Filipino slant a little bit. In the top 15 for him, one of the challenges he could fight is Joe Noinai, who is 19-2-2, 8 knockouts, a little bit more power than his record suggests, but he's a top 15 contender, and he's pulled off some pretty big upsets. I'd like to see that fight. That would be a dangerous fight. Just as it was when Oscar Valdez had to get off the canvas against Genesis Servania, another Filipino, and pull off a victory when he was a featherweight.